Evan, how you getting on?
How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Fantastic. Good to see you.
You're a busy man.
Flat out, flat out, thank God. We done three locations there yesterday. It was absolutely manic week, thank God.
Wow. Right. So we have only so much time, Adam, so we're going to fly
Yeah.
into it. And before we get into all that stuff, let me start by asking you, I suppose, a bit about like. So I obviously know you from social media. You're entrepreneurial. You have the food truck, and you put up a good bit of content about that. But give me the kind of 30-second, like who you are, what your background is, where you're from, that type of, just to get a better idea of who you are.
So I'm Adam Murray. I'm from just outside Drogheda, the biggest town in Ireland. Uh, I done business all through college, and then straight after I jumped in the deep end doing electrical wholesale, which I still don't really have any idea about. But I love the sales. I always love being an entrepreneur, the idea of it, and I knew I didn't want to sit at a corporate desk for 40 years. It wasn't for me.
Yeah. Cool. So where does that kind of entrepreneur spirit, like, is there a background in your family
Uh,
or?
yeah, like my dad's owned a hairdressers, and my mom's helped run it for about 40 years. No, 35 years in Drogheda his whole life. He's always wanted to own his own business, and I've seen that the whole time. It's always something I wanted to do. I wasn't blessed to be a hairdresser. I don't have the skills for it.
Mhm.
But even through secondary school and everything, I used to sell sweets out of my locker. I used to resell clothes, concert tickets. Uh, I've been working since I was about 15 between my dad's salon. Then I got two jobs. I worked in a pub as a bar back, and I worked with my dad as well. So I've always loved working. I've always loved trying to make as much money as I can. So
Deadly. It's
yeah,
kind of like the classic entrepreneurial story, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
with yourself selling sweets in school and stuff. Did you have any other businesses before what you're doing now, like official kind of business?
No, I wouldn't say overly official. Like I was big into the resale. Like I done quite well through secondary school between concert tickets and clothes. So between Yeezys and Supreme, I sold all that kind of stuff. And then before the food business, I was looking to go into digital business cards. Just kind of change the way a modern business card is with a piece of paper that someone puts in their pockets and forgets about, basically.
Yeah.
But with the NFC technology that different phones were developed between Apple and Samsung, they're already now able to have something like that built into your phone that you just tap it off the back of another phone. And luckily enough, I kind of seen that coming in the next 6 to 12 months, so I didn't overly pursue it, and I pivoted and started looking at different business options as well.
Yeah, very good. Well, that was clever. So tell me then about the food truck, Blossom Street Kitchen. How did that whole journey come about?
I was looking at what business I want to do for a while, and there is not many businesses you can set up for about 20,000 euro, nearly all in. The- And I had experience in food through college, so I worked in Burger King as a basically the system manager. But that's a lot about processing. It's not so much about cooking, but it's great to learn how to work in a really busy kitchen that turns over lots of revenue
Mm.
every single day. So I done that for about 3 years, and then I moved to San Francisco for a summer on a J1, and I seen so many different entrepreneurs selling food and food stalls on the side of the streets, and there's so many different fresh options that Ireland didn't have, especially Drogheda didn't really have any Mexican options. So when I seen the opportunity to do something similar in Drogheda, I said it's perfect. And with something like a restaurant, you're stuck there and you're relying on customers to come to yourself. But with a food truck, you can go anywhere. You can follow the business. That's why I open in business parks through the week. I open in pubs on the weekend. I do private catering. I do everything. So you're getting revenue from all different areas.
Yeah, wow. And in terms of the like running a food truck, what's the kind of the best and worst aspects of that?
Best and worst. I love talking. I love meeting new people. So you get to talk to so many people, especially when you're in the food truck serving. Like every week I work in the business parks just by myself in the trailer. So you gotta have a good conversation with people. And every week you see you're reaping the rewards of people enjoying your food and they're coming back and they're bringing other people. Like there's a business around the corner from one of the spots I'm in Drogheda. One week one of them came in. Next week it was another one. Then it was four. Then it was five. Then it was nine. This week gone, it was 11.
Well,
11 people from the one business just because they're all enjoying the food. And it's the same with private party bookings. I done one private party in Dunboyne about 2 months ago, and off the back of that, I've already got four different bookings just off the one party.
Wow, that's unreal. What I'm sure you've gone through a bit of a learning
Yeah.
process, right? In terms of setting up, is there any kind of standout, I suppose, like things you've learned business wise?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that people see that people don't see. So there's a whole lot of like I'm already planning for next week and where we're going to be, and it's not as easy for your normal job to just be able to go in and book your holidays off and everything. I was in Munich on Friday to go see Adele with my mom, but I had the trailer going down to Kildare to a GA club event for about 200 people. So I had to plan everything to make sure that I could get three lads down there with a trailer and work out your whole cost to make sure that it is going to work out, that it's worth your while going down to.
Yeah,
And yeah, that was a difficulty of it. So I was trying to work all of that the past 3 months in the future. Well, if you're just an employee, you don't really have to think about it. Everything's told to you. But I'm working not only today, not only next week. Like I have stuff booked in the next 3, 6 months that I'm already trying to put plans in place for and wondering who's going to go where and then how I'm going to expand in the future. Already thinking even a year, 2 years ahead.
how does the marketing work for you then? What's your like how do you get customers? Do you do a lot of marketing?
It's not any paid marketing.
Right.
I previously spent about maybe 150 euro when we started in the paid marketing, and
Yeah.
it is something I'm definitely going to do. I'd say in the next 2 months or so. I wanted to invest in a bit better of a camera and a mic, so it makes it more worth my while. More people stay around to watch the video, but it's largely of this like a social media interactions with people. So I post on TikTok and Instagram every single day at least once. And I'm also starting to post on LinkedIn nearly every single day. We will get that up to every single
Mm.
day. And look, it just lets people know a bit about the business. Uh, I see there's other businesses that they might just post, oh, here's our coffee and it's 350 and it's a
Yeah.
photo and it's only going out to their followers. But I post reels, I post about what it is like to own a business. I think it's content that's more engaging for a viewer.
Mm.
It's something I'd want to watch. They're going to learn something about it, how we make our red pickled onion, why we chose this location, the new locations we're looking for, if we're looking for staff, and you're building a community. People feel they're more a part of a community. That's why there's gyms here in Drogheda, and they do a fantastic uh, the like a community. So they all meet up together, they go for coffees, and then on the back of it, they're getting their more expensive gym memberships. They're getting their clothing, and then on nights out, you'll see like 100 people from the exact same gym, and it builds such a strong community. And then the lifetime value of the client is it's gone through the roof.
Yeah. Deadly. No, I agree with you completely, and your content definitely is. I know there's a lot of boring stuff out there. Two final
Yeah.
ones for you, Adam. Um, because you know you're an entrepreneurial guy. Uh, do you like? Is there any other food businesses out there, or even business in general, or industries that you would look at sometimes? Say, geez, I wish I'd started that, or I'd love to kind of do something similar.
Yeah, like I don't know if I wish I started any other business. I love the business I have, but I'd love to expand and do other things in the future. Like there's one great example in our rival town, Dundalk, Macara. Three lads own that
Mm.
pub, and just from what I see on social media, it's ran brilliantly. They do different events, same way I done three events yesterday, all through the day. They get ring makers in. They were doing painting. They were doing tattoos. They then brought in like traditional music bands, live DJs, and it was absolutely packed. And I went up to them for food about 2 weeks ago, and the food was delicious. I have to do I have to give it to them. And then they do kitchen takeovers and everything, which I keep messaging them to try to do, and I'm getting nowhere with it. But like, I think their businesses ran fantastically. Same as I said about building a community. Like they went on a ski trip, and
Mm.
I don't think it was the cheapest ski trip to go on, and it was packed. I think they sold out their ski trip just by building that community. I don't think you could just go into another pub in any town and just say, lads, you want to come on a ski trip, and people would agree to pay. They
Yeah.
have merch, they have clothing, there's different events on all the time, which is brilliant. Because in Drogheda, stuff like that is lacking. That's why I want to do some form of event. I was thinking of doing a cooking night, teaming up with one of the pubs in Drogheda. It actually should be Sarsfields, and we set up and we teach people how to make our tacos, and then everyone gets to go home and they get a taco kit to bring home, and it's the same thing, building the community. Or I was in talks with a GAA club in Drogheda about doing a charity event, so we do all the food for free. A €10 ticket gets you in, and then there'd be like a free bouncing castle, free face painting, and then all the money goes back to charity. Because once again, it's about building the community and giving the people a Drogheda something to do.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that. Like I said, we had a restaurant before, and we used to do Tinder nights. So basically, we were connected to a pub. We just had just rented the kitchen, but it was basically where it was like a speed dating event, and it was all for college students only. But that event, it cost us like very little to set up and to do, but it was such a great event for getting the college students. Like, we got great media from it, like even national media, but then all the college student kind of, it was such good for the brand,
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree. Let me finish up with this last one, Adam. Um, Kind of touched on this already, but what's say 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself?
5 years down the line, I don't know if it's going to be in a brick and mortar option, but I do see plenty of food trailers in our future. There's unlimited potential in Leinster alone. I don't feel like I really have to go far. Like, I love the idea of setting up in these different pubs and giving people food options that they would have left the pub to get. Sarsfields, as I said, the area we were in, there was nothing there before, and people would come and have a couple of drinks, but they might leave to go get food. Now we go in, we offer table service. People also come to the pub because they know we're there. And I think there's so much potential for it in other places. Whether we set another one up in Dundalk, then we go out to RD, then Kingscourt and Calvin's only about 35 minutes away, and do the same because it's very low startup cost. We'd have our one base kitchen and everything works out of there, and then 4 food trailers, 5 food trailers are sent to all these different locations. And then down the line, we could also look for a standalone restaurant, depending where it is. Like, there's great opportunity in Drogheda town itself to open up a brick and mortar. There's Drogheda is the quickest growing and biggest town in the country, and there's so much opportunity in that space. But the only thing is, uh, for me at the minute, I think food trailers is the way to go. And yeah, look, I'll never say no to anything, but I think food trailers are the one for me.
Why is that? Just to finish up.
Uh, it does come back to the movability for myself. Like, the private catering is where it's at for me. I love doing private catering. It's where we create our most revenue. It's where we create our most value. Uh, you can private cater and serve food for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and you could make more money, or far more money, depending on how many people it's for, than setting up in your traditional pub,
Mm.
then standing up at a market fair, than a stall, just because the customer value is that bit higher because you're providing the convenience of going out to them, setting up in their front garden. But then also, we're still cheaper than them having to go out, get taxis to restaurants, pay for restaurants, and then going back home. So it works out both ways. It works out for ourselves and it works out for the client, and everyone's happy. And yeah, I think private catering, the way we do it, is so untapped. It's brilliant. I know, of course, I tell you, I would have a food truck at my house if I was having a party. But it really is the future. You're going to see so many more people with food trailers at their houses for events. And the beauty of our trailers, it's so small if it's in nearly any house and estate driveway in Ireland. And especially if you have small children and the likes communions, confirmations, you might want to bring them to a restaurant where the children might be, turned away nearly for making noise. In the comfort of your own house, you don't have to worry about it. We take all the rubbish. There's no messing. It's so easy.
Here, what a great place to end. You're
Yeah.
selling your business as well. I love it. You're a spokesman for Drogheda. You're a spokesman for the food truck business, and then obviously for Blasta. Um, Adam, I appreciate it. It was great to connect finally and have a chat, and I wish you the best going forward.
You're a gent. Talk to you again.